Now, last week, we went ahead and reviewed book 1 of Bunny Girl Evolution. Today, we're going to look at the series as a whole as it is released. It is still an ongoing series, but there are enough books that I wanted to talk about it. And I will probably post an updated video whenever the author finishes the series. So let's dive in to Bunny Girl Evolution. By the way, I sell this hoodie. I love this hoodie. You should go buy it. That's it. Just go buy it. Hey darling, Boyce here. Welcome back to my channel. Here it is my goal to help you find your next book obsession. Today, we are talking about Bunny Girl Evolution by Sir Bedivere the Mad, because this is either going to become your next favorite read, or it is going to become the video that saves you from fandom heartbreak. So by the end of this, you will know exactly whether the series deserves a spot on your shelf and your TBR. Now, 3 books are out. The series is ongoing, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to decide if this is your next binge read. If you haven't seen my first look on book 1, the link is in the description. I will probably also put up the title card so that you can go and watch that. I would watch that first before watching this one, just because I'm not going to go into much detail about book 1 for obvious reasons. Okay, let's talk about what you're signing up for. The books out so far, there are 3 on Amazon. Bunny Girl Evolution 1 released in July 2025, I believe. Book 2 in October 2025. And book 3 in January 2026. So Bedivere is shipping out books on about a quarterly cadence, and that pace is holding, so that's a really good sign. Now, Bedivere has confirmed directly that book 3's audiobook launches within the next couple of months as of recording this video, and book 4, the ebook and the audio, will be coming out a couple months after that. So we're looking probably at late 2026 for book 4, but I don't know that for sure. Now, let's talk about the length. Book 1 is 600 pages-ish, and these are substantial books. They're not quick reads. Book 2's audiobook clocks in at, I think, almost 18 hours, so, plan your commute accordingly. And the reading order is strict. This is not a series you can skip around the books. Start with book 1 and continue on from there. Now, I will say that Bedivere is quoted to have said, "I have not finished a series and do not think I will be doing so anytime soon." So just keep that in mind. He is releasing multiple projects at once. He has Catgirl Evolution, which I just did a first look on, so make sure you check that out too. And he's doing a co-write as well. So the man has a lot on his plate, but from everything I can tell, he's keeping up with the quarterly release schedule. Here's what the series is going to do to your heart. Book 1 is survival into politics. The first chunk is pure survival. Elise, our bunny MC, running from slimes, from wolves, from everything else in this world that wants to eat her. She gets adopted by a human family called the Greys. She becomes their pet. And she gets pulled into a centuries-old war between dwarves and drow that she has to help broker peace in, despite being a bunny. I did see a lot of reviews saying that this is the slowest book in the series. The world building is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for book 1. And readers flagged that the emotional weight in book 1, including the death of a character readers loved, did still get them, even though it is a slower paced book. So know that going in, this is not a power fantasy escape book. There is real grief in this one. It's definitely an emotional and character-driven novel. Okay, so let's talk about book 2. Again, book 1, go watch the first look. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here because I kind of already did it. But book 2 is where the pacing accelerates. The Grey family is missing. Nick, the older brother, has been captured by the Blood Syndicate, an international crime organization headquartered in one of the most dangerous regions on the continent. And Elise mounts a rescue with a group of unlikely allies. Meanwhile, Sophie, the younger Grey girl, is stranded on a mysterious teleporting island with, and I'm quoting the Amazon synopsis here, a seemingly insane woman. So that sounds fun. Bonus points to Bedivere for that descriptor. That made me chuckle. Now, book 2 moves. Real action, multi-thread storytelling, big stakes. And there's at least one character moment the reader said landed really hard. One reviewer specifically wrote, and I quote, "Alice did not deserve that." So, okay. Now, book 3 is where things get philosophical. With the Grey family safe, Elise has time to finally focus on her own growth. The King of the Fae offers to train her. She ends up at a university, and the book is built around training, identity, and academy intrigue. Secret identities, factions, prophecies, high-stakes school missions, that kind of thing. So the payoff pattern is that tension builds, it doesn't reset. Threads from book 1 pay off in book 2 and reshape book 3. The Mark of Fate, the Astra Secret Society, the Feline Evolution Path. These are all long arc seeds that Bedivere planted in book 1 that do get payoff and resolution in the later books. I will say, from what I could see, the cliffhangers are less brutal than the genre average. Each book wraps its main arc before setting up the next. So I think that the story structure was really well done. It seems like there are proper pinch points or proper plot points. The act structure looks like it's really well done in this one. And from everything I could read, this is a very clean story. Bedivere is a very good writer. So there were a lot of compliments on craft across all 3 books. Now, the series is for you. If you love Salvos by Daniel B. Green, this is the single most cited reader comp, and it holds across all 3 books. As I said in my book 1 video, I think that if you enjoy Dungeon Crawler Carl level of character depth, even though it's a wildly differential or different tonal package, I think you're still going to like this. If you're a wandering in reader looking for a tighter paced cousin with a more contained cast, I think you will like this. And if you love a school or academy arc done really well and you want one inside a LitRPG, I think you're going to especially like book 3. Now, I also think you'll like this if you are tired of romance being shoehorned into like every fantasy series that you read. That is a meaningful pattern in the reviews. One reader says something like, "Yay, finally an author who can write girls without having to add in romance." So, that demand is real, and Bedivere is filling it. So if you want a female-led monster evolution lit RPG where the focus is character, world, and adventure, you're going to love it. Also, if you're an audiophile, the audiobooks for the series are incredible, and I cannot recommend them highly enough. Now, keep in mind, this is not a cozy escape series. There's real grief, real stakes, and a protagonist whose interior life carries a lot of page weight. There's a lot of introspection and internal dialogue. The trope this series consistently delivers is a non-human, non-violent, deeply empathetic protagonist who solves problems through thought and social manipulation in a genre that really defaults to combat grind. And, pot kettle, right? Like all my stuff has a lot of punchy in it, but I just wanted to mention that. Now, here's the honest truth about how this series holds up across each book. The headline data. Across 3 books and over 1,600 Amazon ratings, there is 0 1-star or 2-star reviews. Every reader who finished a book rated it at 3 stars or above, and that is genuinely rare. The Goodreads trend I could find was like a 4.2 on book 1, and the ratings they go up from there as you go through the sequels, which is really common. You usually see ratings go up because only the people who like the story continue past book 1. From everything I could see, Bedivere is becoming a better and better writer through every single book. That trend line, especially that kind of rating balance, you don't see that very often, and it's definitely worth looking at. Now, multiple readers are calling book 3 the best in the series by far. And according to many reviewers, it's one of the best isekais out there. The Lone Descent on book 3. One reviewer called it almost an intermission. That particular person felt like it was more of a setup for book 4 than its own thing. Structurally, I don't think that person is wrong. It is a bridge book, but most readers don't really experience it that way because the bridge is full of lots of fun tropes, lots of plot twists, and that classic academy vibe. Just go in knowing that the majority of the experience is very positive for readers, and there's really limited critical feedback. There is a lot of talk in the reviews about author growth through the series. The world building deepens with each book. Character work stays strong. The metaphysical layer, questions about the system itself, a pre-system era, ancient beings sealed away, all of that gets introduced in book 3 and reshapes what the whole series is actually about. I don't want to give you too many spoilers. I'm really trying to keep these series overviews spoiler free. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. Here's the most common criticism that I really want you to hear. Apparently book 2's proofreading slipped a little from book 1. Multiple readers in the 4-star reviews independently flagged some typos and missing words. Now, I will say this is not a story-killing problem. It's just kind of like a cosmetic thing. So I don't think it will ruin the experience for you for book 2 at all. Thought my mic was muted there for a second. Whew. The other recurring caveat from book 1, some readers felt the MC's interior monologues slowed the pacing. Elise spends a lot of time thinking through decisions instead of just acting. So if you want momentum over reflection, that is a real friction point. But a lot of people in the reviews see that as a feature and not a bug. So should you start this series? My recommendation, yeah. But go into it with your eyes open. The data is very clean in terms of the reviews and everything I saw in the ratings especially. The trajectory through the series is usually very positive. The reader feedback is usually very consistent, and if the premise sounds appealing to you, I think you are almost certainly going to enjoy this series. The best reading approach would be, I think, to space it out. Each book is substantial, and the tonal shift between books, survival to action to academy, actually benefits from a little breathing room in between books. If you binge straight through, you may feel the gear shifts a little bit more, but I could be wrong on that. In terms of the mood reading, start this when you have bandwidth for a thoughtful, character-driven read. This is not a turn your brain off escape series. Elise's interior life is a major load-bearing element. So if you're in the I just want explosions mood, save this book for when you're craving something with a little more interior monologue and emotional depth. Now, in terms of an exit strategy, if you bounce off book one's slower politics arc and you genuinely don't think book two's action will pull you back, that's the logical DNF point. But keep in mind that book one appears to be the slowest entry. So if you make it through book one and you're curious about book two, I think give it a shot. Even just a couple chapters into book two, you'll know whether or not you want to finish the series. If you finish book three and you need a palate cleanser before book four arrives, I think you might want to try The Wandering Inn. You might want to try Catgirl Evolution, which is one of Bedivere's other series. I really think Wandering Inn is the closest match for that slower, deeper character and world building focused energy that the series really leans into. Especially after book three. So kind of to just summarize, this is an ongoing series. We're not sure how many books are going to be in the series. Bedivere is running 3 series simultaneously, and he said he doesn't plan on finishing any of them anytime soon. Yeah, so keep in mind that the bunny girl is not a girl yet. Elise is still in rabbit form through, I believe, all 3 books. And from what I could see, Royal Road readers estimated that the evolution will land around book 5 or 6, but that is a long tail payoff if you want more of that monster evolution into humanoid creature. I will say that the MC is very consistent. If Elise's thoughtful, deliberate, and sometimes hesitant nature in book 1 doesn't work for you, she doesn't really transform in books 2 or 3 beyond, she doesn't move from interior monologue to action as much. From what I was seeing in reviews, she's consistent in that way, but the character work is the point. So you will see change and growth, just not in terms of the internal monologue, if that makes sense. I want to know if you read the series, no spoilers, just tell me if I nailed the emotional experience or if you had a totally different reaction. I want to know what I got right and what I got wrong. If you have also read the series, I want to know which one is your favorite in the 3 books that are out so far. I'm super curious as to which book it gets the better vote. So leave me a note below. Links are going to be in the description for everything, including, I think, the Patreon link and the email sign-up link for Bedivere, if you want alerts on when the sequels are going to be out. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you want more series breakdowns like this one. Please consider liking the video if I just helped you decide either way, yes or no. And yeah, happy reading, my darling. I'm going to see you in the next one.